All right. So welcome to May. It's good to see you. And I love that we're a small group, but we're covering most corners of the globe at the moment. So it's wonderful, wonderful. Yay. So it's been, Sue, we haven't seen you for a while. I'd love to hear where you're at. So, and then let's because we're a small group, let's do a bit of we'll just wander around and we'll all share a little bit, hey, and see where it goes. So Sue, I'm throwing you under the bus. So you're first.
Where am I? I'm here.
And can I say that's a wonderful place to be. Showing up is always the first step.
Surrounding myself by amazing people, which always helps.
It does.
And yeah, I think it's one of those, it's always easy in retrospect, but I think I'm just going through a bit of a kind of, what the fuck am I doing?
In what sense? In what sense?
I think it's a combination of maybe just getting a bit more clarity about what I am doing and just overcoming the usual saboteur imposter thing going on. So they're two kind of separate things, I think, rather than they're not the same exactly. So there's a certain amount of logic. My logical brain is saying just get clarity. And it's obvious, it's bloody obvious, get clarity about what you're writing, what you're doing, what's your message, who's your person you're speaking to, all that kind of clear, kind of logical brain stuff. And then my kind of more less logical, more creative, more kind of emotional brain is going, what the fuck are you doing? Excuse my language, but what's going on? What are you doing there? And yeah, run for the hills, I guess. So there's two kind of parts to it, if that makes sense.
Well, that actually, I don't know, that creative part that you think sounds more like your logical part saying, what are you doing? I think your creative bit would just be going, yeah, let's just see what happens.
Yeah, I mean, there's an argument, isn't there? Interestingly, kind of,
hey,
the hello. Had a conversation on text yesterday, like we do, about finding your rhythm and energy. What comes first? Does energy come first and then you find your rhythm, or does rhythm come first and then you find your energy, or is it one big circular thing? My husband, being very logical, said, "Oh no. What you find your rhythm and then you get your energy outcome of finding, input. The outcome is energy from creating balance." This other friend of mine said, "No. The energy creates the outcome." And that's a really interesting kind of. Actually, it's a loop, isn't it? But I think it's the same. It's like it's all entangled. You're logically saying this makes sense, do it. You want to do it. Why not? Why not you? Why not now? And then maybe it's probably more the emotional self is that kind of saying, I don't know about that. It's just overcoming that and just saying.
Okay, so I think this is what we might recruit some help here. So Sue, you clearly, from what I can see, you spend far too much time in your head trying to work this out and answer questions and work out what's going on. And that's just getting you confused by the sound of things. So, Justine, what do you think?
I was just going to say about the imposter syndrome, because when I won a whole heap of awards last year, I felt exactly the same. It's like, I don't deserve these awards, I'm an imposter, the imposter syndrome, blah, blah, blah. Was talking to my counsellor and she turned around and said to me, there's no such thing in any of the psych books about imposter syndrome. It's just a term that's been made up. And when she said that to me, I'm like, okay then, and pushed it aside.
Yep. Okay, good.
And just pushed it aside. And then I'm like, I deserve these awards. They wouldn't have given them to me unless I had deserved them.
Yep.
And I agree with Andrew, you know, we get caught up in our heads far too much instead of just writing.
Yep.
Yeah, I think it's like any journey. When you're on it, you know you can do it when you've done it. It's one of those kind of having the faith. I think that's how I think where I am is when you've done it. I've done it.
Yeah.
But I know from other things I've done, it's very in that loop, really going that.
Have you done any visualization?
Pardon?
Have you done any visualization of what your book's going to look like? Gone into the bookstore and stood there and imagined picking your book off there, or take photos of the bookstore?
I haven't done anything as, I suppose, physically tangible as that. It's more in my head again.
Because it does make a bit of a difference when you go in there and you smell the books and you go, my book's going to be sitting on this shelf.
Yep.
And then start visualizing that it's already here.
Yeah. Yep. Look, I think the bottom line is, like we spoke about this on Saturday, didn't we, guys? Those of you who are there, we spoke about the power of our words and, you know, what you're saying to yourself. So you've got to be very conscious of, because that's the outcome you're going to get when you say, you know, this is rubbish, or that's what you're going to get. So you got to be very, very quick to capture that and change it.
I know for me, when 500, like I'm on whatever, I don't know, what did I say on Saturday? 554 plus 9 days, you know, so 500 something days ago or whatever, what it was like, just that really early, and it was all very ethereal and I wasn't in the good habit yet. It was like the exact opposite of what Justine just recommended to work for me. It was completely distancing myself from the outcome and just focusing on the do, and like what it was almost didn't matter, which is, Justine said it before with the like shitty first draft sort of thing. It was just freeing myself from like, oh man, this is going to be a book, and like it all felt too big for me. And for me, it was just about like I've showed you before. I have my little columns and I just color in a box. Like that's literally all I'm doing, right? I do a couple of minutes on the writing and then I color in my box, and that's it. And it's all, and it doesn't matter. And then like I've been doing that for just shy of 2 years. And now I'm actually really close to having the first draft. Yeah. And it's kind of like, whoa, hey, but it's just easier because I just don't have to worry about the whatever the is. Just, you know, I can just focus on the one sentence today or whatever, because for me, I can just get way too overwhelmed and way too caught in my own head. Like I just hearing you talk about like going into the bookstore and imagining your book, just seemed like I'm now just at the point where I'm like, ooh, that might be cool. But I think it's only now because like the next thing I'm worried about, well, I'll get caught up in my head about is like, will publisher, so it'll be cool to start having a, like, I'm close enough now that I can like connect, but 500 days ago, I couldn't have, that would have been overwhelming for me. And I think it's okay to figure out where you are and just, you know, yeah, I fully believe that you'll get to the point where then it's like, oh yeah, manifesting the book in my head and like in a bookstore, that will be awesome. But if you're not there today, that's also totally cool. Just tick the box.
Yep, win the day. Yeah,
that is kind of letting go, and I think that kind of doesn't matter what you've done. It may not be useful, but it may be kind of concept. It's letting go of it being everything having to be valuable, and I think that's I'm in that process. You know, it's not that I'm not in that process, but I think it's embracing that a little bit more and just kind of stepping out into that.
Yeah,
which is the thing.
Awesome. I think we'll do.
I know I can do it.
Yeah, we'll come back. We might come back and deal with this a little bit later, because I just want to say hello, Karen. Hello, Rosina. Good to see you guys.
Hello.
And I just want to just quick. We'll do a quick whip around, see where everyone's at. So Glenda, since the last time we saw her, she's moved from Australia. She's now living in Florence, in Italy. So, you know, it's a tough gig for her at the moment.
It is.
Yeah. So, Glenda, tell because you're doing some great stuff now. Tell us where you're at and how you're.
Well, in the midst of arriving here in snow and rain and everything else from 30 degrees in Brisbane, it was a bit of a shock to the system. And then, as I just described to Kat, getting all our paperwork sorted out. They always say, when you want something done, give a busy person. I feel like I've achieved more almost when I've had all of this crazy, and I've got COVID in the midst of it all. But yeah, I actually sent out 2 manuscripts to publishers last week. I don't know what that's going to mean, and I haven't heard anything back. So it could be absolute disaster. But yeah, that was kind of cool.
Do that's massive, Glenda. I can't tell you how long it took me to send my first manuscript out.
But maybe it's just because mine wasn't at the level that yours was the first time.
Well, my first one, I was terrified. I thought, this is crap, and if I send it, then I'm going to get rejected. And it sat, honestly, I had a package. It wasn't online back when dinosaurs roamed the earth when I submitted my first one. It was a package that sat on my dining room table for 2 weeks, then it sat in my car for another 2 weeks. And I just kept resisting it and resisting it and resisting it. So good on you. It takes courage. It really does. So well done. It's out there.
I just had so much else. I had so much else happening that it's like, just do it. So yeah, it's there and we'll see.
We'll see what happens. Obviously, there'll be some more going out. So we look forward to hearing what responses you're getting. But well done. I mean, that's a massive, massive step to be at that stage. So that's awesome. So well done.
And you have a big part to have played in that. So thanks for your encouragement and pushing and shoving and all that stuff. Yep.
Always a pleasure. I'm a good pusher and shover. So who wants to share? Justin, why don't you tell us, because you're up in sunny Queensland at the moment, or rainy Queensland.
No sun up.
No sun.
You want to come down back to Melbourne?
Oh no, it's still warm. It's about, I don't know, 22, 23 degrees at the moment. So I came up here last week, off to a business retreat on Sunday in Mission Beach, which is about halfway between Townsville and Cairns. They're predicting some really major rain this week. So we'll see if I actually get
a cyclone.
Wash your mouth out, Andrew.
No, a cyclone.
Because I'm there 3 days and then I'm off to Cairns by myself on Wednesday next week. And then I'm going to do a reef tour on the Thursday by myself. And then I'm flying back to Townsville on the Friday afternoon. So I'm doing plenty of work while I'm here.
Of course you are.
Yeah. I've just uploaded another podcast, and I'm actually getting my podcast transcribed for me at the moment to put in a book at the end of the year. So that was, there's 30 episodes in the podcast, and I used Fiverr to get them transcribed. So, and then I'll edit, and then I'll send them to an editor. So that's the plan of attack. Andrew's is one of them. So if you haven't listened to the podcast, please do, because we had a hoot of it.
Everyone's heard my story so many times, it's boring.
Yeah, but you always tell it so different as well. And we got into a lot more than just your story as well in that one. So my kids' book is being launched on the 15th of July, which is...
Yay.
Yeah, yay. And I've already got a waiting list for it. So that's great. I've sold nearly 100 copies already.
Yay.
Yeah. That's why we do it as well, isn't it? Yeah. And with the launch of that on the 15th of July is the launch of my publishing company called Morpheus Publishing.
Tell these guys a bit about your publishing company and what, because I think it's worth, there's authors that are looking to get published. So, how's it work? What do you do?
Well, I'll be a hybrid publisher, looking for the costs. I'm still nutting down everything, but I'll offer the graphic artist to do your covers and an editor and all of the packaging one. And there'll be different packaging depending on what your needs are. So
there'll be some cost associated with that. Yeah.
There will be. Yeah.
And what, any particular genre or any genre or?
More the self-help
Yeah.
genre
Okay.
on it. And yeah,
And kids books, clearly.
kids books. And it'll evolve as I evolve into the business.
Yeah.
As well, but I'm very excited about it all, and I'm at the process of having logos made, and so the logo will be a black seal, the old wax seals, be a black seal with gold on it, so not like my normal bright coloring branding for the rest of the other 4 businesses. This one will be a little bit more classy, as my aunt puts it, who's doing the graphics, because this needs to be classy. I'm like, all right. So yeah, it's all exciting, but
that's great stuff.
Just put some goals out there, and we all have dreams, and dreams become reality when you set your goals. And if don't get 5 years down the track and say, oh, I wish I'd done that. Just do it now.
There you go. There's some advice for you.
Just do it now. Set it out. Have an approximate time of when you want your book finished. Otherwise, it will never get finished. Take it from one who knows.
Yeah.
So, and with Andrew's help, I've been checking in with him. I apologise for Friday.
She took me up.
I did.
First time ever. That was not like.
I know. Oh, I had to go through COVID tests and everything to get up here last week and change flights. And then I got on the aeroplane, and 20 minutes into the flight, I got a migraine. And I'm not a good migraine sufferer. And the hostesses were absolutely brilliant. So there's a chapter in that flight, I can tell you, and shift me to the back of the plane. And all I had these visions of, they're going to turn around and we have to land back down again, because I look like I've had a stroke when I have a migraine. And I just laid they put a dark blanket around and this little cocoon at the back of the plane, and absolutely brilliant. And yeah, I couldn't fault them at all. So I apologize, Andrew.
You're forgiven. You are forgiven.
But I will reschedule.
Yes, you
for
will.
this week sometime. But yeah, just work out what your goals are, guys. And if you've got a dream and you want to do something, just do it. Who are you waiting for? Whose approval are you waiting for? You don't need anyone's approval. Just go and do it. I interviewed last week a guy called Trav Bell, and he is the bucket list guy. And he teaches people about how to set their bucket lists. And if you don't have a bucket list, you need one.
I'm going to disagree with you.
There you go, Glenn. Glenda's book is called Kick Out the Bucket List.
Yeah. Because I actually think I agree with you, Justine. That's because it's actually, don't create a bucket list, just do the stuff.
Yeah, do the stuff. But I have a
Don't
list.
plan it. Bucket lists are just about planning stuff, because that's the problem, is people create lists. Anyway, that's for another day. I'm going to disagree with you.
There's a balance here, isn't it?
There's
the people that create the list and look at it and go, oh, that's nice, I'm going to do that one day, and one day turns into no day. And I think there's obviously argument for both. You need to have some clarity around what you want to do, but you've got to do it.
That's it.
If you don't do it, then a list means nothing. So you're right. This could be a debate. We could have a debate. We might do a debate.
This could be an interesting one. I think we actually mean the same thing. It's just that so often bucket lists are what everybody else think you should do, not what you think you should do. And they to-do lists that just grow, that nobody ever does anything on them.
I know. See, I have my to-do list. I have my bucket list of things that I want to do, and I write it on there because my memory is so bad that I can't remember everything. So I have that list with that, and then I do, I booked for Cairns next week, and I went, oh, I think I'll go on the Great Barrier Reef and have a look. It's not on my bucket list, but it will be now.
That's it.
So that impulsive thing, and just do it.
Awesome. Impulsive's good. I think spontaneous is a skill that we need to develop. Most people need to develop the skill of spontaneity. It doesn't come naturally to a lot of people. I mean, clearly, Justine, it does for you.
Not me.
It doesn't for Karen, and so I'm guessing it doesn't come necessarily for you. It's not. And Chris, you seem to be a very thoughtful person too, but there's some power around just saying stuff it. Let's just get started, even if you don't have the answers. You know, I wouldn't be sitting here today. I promise you, you wouldn't be sitting here today if I was an overthinker. You know, and Glenda, I'm a lot like you. I'm not the list builder. I just get the idea and go, okay, let's go, let's do it. You know, I don't know how, but let's go. So, because if you don't start it and stuff it up, you know, like that's how you learn, that's how you grow, that's how you build, that's how. So when you stop to try and work it out, you'll never work it out because you can't steer a parked car. I love that saying, you can't steer a parked car. Right? So there's no direction when the car's stopped. When you go, wonder what I should do with that. You'll never work that out because it's an unknown quantity. The only thing that will become known is when you do it and do it wrong and go, well, that's wrong. I won't do that again. And you try something different. And so I think, you know, I love with the book that Glenda's written. I think it's awesome. And, you know, she had a little bit of a disagreement with, you know, a lot of you have used Julie to assess your book, and Julie's awesome. But, you know, she suggested that Glenda do it more along the bucket list, and they said, well, Glenda, that's not what I want to do. That's not what this is about. It's about inspiring people to do stuff, not list stuff. You know, listing's easy. Looking at your list is easy. Doing it's where the rubber meets the road. So,
and I think when you realize that time is very precious, you don't sit around and just wait. You get in and you do things.
Well, Justine, you and this is going to sound really weird, and for someone to say that you're fortunate, you probably are.
I am fortunate.
You are because you've been tested so many times, and you've been faced with probably that fear of losing your life so many times that you've got this incredible zest for life, and you value every second of your life. Because
I mean, I had another scare. Well, it was a scare 2 months ago now, March, where my cancer's come back, and the lymphoma and leukemia, and I found out last week that they're back in remission.
Yay.
Yeah, but it cemented it again. Like in March, it's like, oh shit, you know, I'm not going to be here forever. Everything that I want to do, I've got to pull my finger out and I've got to do it because time is running out.
It is.
From it. So
action. I think action is the key word for today. I love it. There's always a theme. Action. So let's just hear from Chris, and let's hear from Karen. And I'm sure Kat, you might have a bit more you want to share. But Chris, how are you going, mate?
All right. I haven't been as diligent as I'd hoped, as usual. I've been out back driving and not riding every day, but I have been riding. And I'm about to disappear again to Tasmania to house sit, where I expect I'll have lots of time and not the usual distractions. So I'm expecting to get lots done on that trip.
Good, mate. Good. Well, Justine's giving you some good advice. Just get it done, hey?
And on the subject of, you know, rhythm gives you the energy, or the energy gives you the rhythm, or make a list or don't make a list. It's all very personal. Yeah. I like lists because I got that. It was an Amway strategy that somebody told me to make lists, and you feel good when you cross something off your list. Make them details, and little things. Don't say go to Europe. You know, break that down into all the little steps, and when you can see the steps happening, it works for me. It doesn't work for everybody, but it works for me.
No, that is true, and you're right. So I think we're talking different than a bucket list and a daily action list. I do that every day too, Chris. I've got my list here, and I've got a little box next to the thing, and I love ticking boxes. I mean, that makes my day. Every box I tick, you know, it feels like you're doing something. So that's awesome, mate. Good. I want to see some boxes ticked by next time, hey?
Right, yeah, it's a deal.
Awesome, mate. Good on you. Karen, how are you?
I'm good.
What's going on in your neck of the woods?
Well, I like the daily task list as well, and I'm forever crossing things off, but I'm also forever pushing things out if I don't have time to do it on that particular day. But that's okay. I can work with that. They're not big things, like not bucket list type things, but I'm happy enough with the way it's going. You were talking about spontaneity before.
Yep.
I have been practicing, even though I'm not good at it. I'm trying to do things on the spur of the moment if I don't think they're going to work out. And it's not about getting it wrong, I don't think. It's more about just having a go.
Yep.
And if it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. Late last year, I wrote a script for a television series with my daughter, and we submitted that. And the results have only just recently come out. We didn't get anywhere with it, but we were happy enough. We tried. We're going to try again next year.
Well, you just
With
need
a
to make, you just need to make that TV series yourself. I'm sure Justine
Yeah,
will start a production company.
With what money?
Justine will start a production company. You talk to Justine, that'll be her next full task.
I can't keep up with Justine. I'm
Do
really
not give
impressed.
me any more. Do not give me any more ideas.
I can imagine Justine TV.
Well, can I just
Just
say
TV.
my PR girl has actually put my name forward to be on a panel on TV. So, and I'm
Very
in the
good.
I'm in the Sun Herald this Sunday night as well. So
There you go. Well, that's great, Karen. Good on you. You're you look, just for those of you, I mean, that have known Karen a little while, when Karen and I started working together, how long, Karen? Was that about probably 7 years ago, I reckon?
No, longer than that.
Longer than that. And Karen
probably
was,
close to 10 years.
yeah, and Karen was shy and she lacked confidence, lacked a belief in herself. To look at this lady now and what she's done, you know, she's published two books now. She's now quit her job, and now she's got building a really successful business as an editor and as a proofreader, and but you know, she's written movie script. She's taken one of her first book and wrote a movie script for it. And that was actually, I don't know where that is, Karen. Is that anywhere? Like,
it's optioned. Oh, it was optioned. COVID got in the way of it, unfortunately.
Yeah.
And I've been in touch with the producer, and hopefully it will still go ahead. But you know, if it does, it does. It'd be good if it did. If it doesn't, that's okay. I can just keep moving on.
You're just having a go at stuff, and I love that you know, you're as you said, you're now happy to have a go at stuff. Whereas I think when we started, that was scary, you know. And I think when the more stuff you start doing, the more you realise it's not going to kill me. You know, the more stuff you write, the more stuff you submit, the more you survive. And once you realise you survive, and it's not that bad, then you do it more and more and more, and the more you do it, the more chances are that you'll actually get the result you want. So you have to look. Here's the deal, guys. You've got to fail. You have to be rejected. You have to write badly. You have to, you know, you've got to do that. Not everyone. You're not going to get accepted your first submission. You're not going to write a perfect draft first time. You're not going to. Nothing's perfect. That's just the world. It's messy. And it just keep going through the.
Yeah, I really like what Justine said before, to have a go, because time's running out, and that's why I've changed my life around completely, to be able to do that, just to have a go at things. Whereas before I didn't have the time, but I still don't seem to have enough time.
It was probably maybe you lacked. Maybe it was just something inside holding you back, but now you've broken through that, and life is. You get to that point where you go, life is too short. You know, we're all getting, you know, it's amazing. I think about myself now and the age I'm at. I'm thinking, how did I possibly get to this age? Who ever says that to themselves? Like, how did I
every day?
I'm 58 this year, and I'm going, what? last thing I knew I was 20. How did I get to 58?
Especially when the grandkids call you nanny.
Well, exactly. I mean, that's pretty sobering. You know, it's. Wow, you know, these moments, and the other thing is, there's a balance here, I think, because there's one thing you've got to strive and go for stuff, but you've also got to really enjoy these moments. You know, enjoy even the moments when you're not, you know, when you just be able to go, do you know what, I'm doing well. You know, I'm not exactly. I haven't done everything I want to do, but you know what, I'm having a go, and just to be able to really enjoy the moment. And that's been a difficult shift for me to go, do you know what, I can just be in this moment right now and not thinking about what I should have done, what I didn't do, all these things, and just go, well, here I am right now, and I'm loving this moment. That's important as well, you know. So I think there's the balance between doing the stuff, making the most of my life, but just going, in this moment, it's okay for me to do. Sometimes it's okay to do nothing.
It doesn't last long. Not for me. I can't not do anything. I've
I'm
got
the
to do
same.
something.
I'm like you. Sometimes you just want to watch a movie, I'm just going to do nothing. I'm going to watch a movie, and then you feel, so sometimes that feels refreshed, and off you go, and you can get up and do a bit more. Anyway, Rosina, hello.
Hello, Andrew. Hello, everyone. I'm sorry, my internet has just been really a mess, and I don't know.
Kangaroo Island.
I'm in Bright.
Oh, okay.
I had a big drive yesterday, but
Well, it's getting sunny and bright then, I'm guessing.
oh, it's beautiful. Just autumn leaves and beautiful blue sky. Yeah, it's cool, but it was stunning, absolutely. And when you were talking about, enjoying the moment, I think today I had a massive weekend getting over here. And I just really enjoyed I just thought I'm just going to savor walking in the gardens and just, it was beautiful. So, and there are a few things on my list that I had wanted to do today, but I actually didn't get to them. So the dog walks were the priority, but and this was my other priority, but my internet's been playing around. So sorry if I keep going in and out, and now I'm on the phone because the laptop wasn't sorted anyway. Hello. And it's annoying because I can only see one person at a time on my screen. I can't see everybody.
You can't see
because it's on the phone. So it's like I've been talking and I've got a flicked screen. Anyway, that's all just anyway.
You're here, and that's the main thing.
I'm here. So all good. Just busy writing, enjoying writing, and really just making I've finally sent my manuscript to an editor. That was a big deal.
Yay!
Yeah. Crazy. And so just been writing. That's it. And just enjoying writing. So
that's good.
Yeah, not much else to report really.
Well, that's good. That's good news, Rosina. Enjoying writing. That sounds
Yeah.
like
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's great. Yeah.
Good. Okay. Well, thank you. Now, Kat, I know you've shared a little bit, but so tell us you're now on day 500 and something. So, and you're now on the verge, and this is the product of the win the day, just every day, a little bit. Predictably, you get to the end. Predictably, if you keep doing a little bit every day, you get there. And now Kat is just sitting on the verge of finishing her first book, which is going to be the floodgates will open. Kat will be a prolific best-selling author.
Yeah, probably not too many more on this theme, at least not for right now. But yeah, it's exciting. So Saturday after the forum, I finished the activity I was writing, which was great because that was the second to last one. So I've started on the last one, so pretty exciting. So those, because of the nature of the project of the books, is like each one of those is like, okay, for each of those I have this piece and this piece and this piece and this piece. So like I've got quite a routine now of what needs to get done for that. So to Chris's point of the little boxes, like I know all the little boxes that need to happen on it. And I mean, it's a little like following up on with the person that I'm going to get to do a review of the physics content and make sure I haven't bumbled anything. So reached out to her, haven't heard back. Is what it is, So get I'll see. I don't know. She could be out with COVID right now. You don't know what you don't know. So it's fine. It's only been a couple of days, so I've got like my to-do list of that sort of stuff that I'll be ticking along. And so I catch up with my project partner every fortnight. So this is a fortnight on for that. And yeah, it's good because I find when I say, well, I've finished X and I'm on to this, it like can make him go right, kind of drive that engagement a little bit more. But it's exciting. started to sort of think about what happens next. So once I've got this done and the editing and that's a different process than the writing. And so I've also been making notes on the thing I'd like to write. I think that I'd like to write next, so that I can have those notes, but I don't get distracted in the here and now, which would be tempting if that finish the current and start a new project. So trying to avoid that trap, but yeah, I don't know. It's kind of just day by day. It got slow there for a couple of months for me. It was like near the end, it was like I was working on that second to last one for ages, but
it's always there's the valley of death is in every journey. There's always a valley of death where you've been going a while and you still see it's still so far, it seems like so far to go, and it feels like every step you're taking is getting you nowhere, and you're just like, oh, this is terrible, this is a waste of my time. But then if you just keep going, and what you're finding, then all of a sudden you start coming up the other side, and you can actually see the end. And then so it's just, again, it's one day at a time. Everyone goes through the valley of death at some point in their journey. And
I think because these are each of these activities that they're independent, like they each have their sort of like start, middle, end sort of thing, like they each have that little valley as well. Like, oh no, how do I explain this, how deep do I have to go? And then it's like, oh wait, I think it's done. Read it. Oh yeah, it's done. Okay, cool. So it is that I mean, I'm still so grateful for that. When the days, I don't know what it was about that particular, there's a philosophy in product management that you can't and like innovation marketing, you can't tell someone about something that they don't have a box in their head for. So like you can create the world's fastest whatever car, but if they don't have a transportation problem, they like can't hear you. Like if they don't ever leave their house, there's nothing, is like, but as soon as they need to go somewhere, suddenly they have a problem, and suddenly then you can connect a solution to that problem. And so very much to what Christopher was saying earlier, like there's so much personal to all of this journey, and layering where you're at and acknowledging and like honoring that. And for whatever reason, that when the day, that was that moment for me where like it all just, and then and that was 564 days ago. I happen to know. But it's not instantaneous, but I don't know, it's just easier. It's just easier now. It's just not that big a deal.
Well, the thing is, Kat, and this is what I love about this process, for you it's just part of your DNA. So I mean, in the next year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, as you just keep doing it, you've got no idea what you'll produce. What's going to come as a result of this habit you've created. It's just going to keep producing for you. That's what a good routine does. It will continue to produce a result. We all know, because we've got bad habits, right? And we all know what they keep producing continually. And it doesn't get, it doesn't start, it gets worse too, right? And so a good habit is going to continue to produce, and producing is going to get better and better and better. The difference between a good habit and a bad habit is being deliberate. I think you have to be deliberate and very focused to create a good one. Initially, it seems just by default we fall into bad ones, right? Like they're easier. It's much easier to sit on the couch and watch TV, isn't it? I mean, really, it's a lot easier to just eat the food than say no. It's easier to not go for a walk. It's much easier to hit the snooze button. So, but each action we take, this is important too. Each action, I was having a chat today, I'm doing a talk on Wednesday about Tears of Joy, and I always, part of that is the 63 days. And I talked about, the tracking sheet and win the day. And the question that the lady asked me, well, she said, well, I've got a child and I know, when they miss a day or doing something, you don't want to put too much pressure on them. And I said, what do you do if people miss a day? And it's a common question, right? Like, because people think, well, it's okay. People think, well, that's okay, I missed a day. And I said, well, and Sue knows the answer to that question, don't you, Sue? What happens when you miss a day?
Oh, again.
You start again. You know, because the problem is when you, that one day that you go, oh, I've done 5 days in a row. If I have one day off, it's okay. You know, it's not a big deal because I've done 5 and we have one day off and then keep going. And then in another 5 or 6 days, you go, because if you let yourself off once, it's a lot easier to let yourself off again, right? And what are you doing in that process? You're creating habit of letting yourself off every few days. Whereas if you know, if I miss a day, I have to go all the way back to the beginning, then you're less likely to miss the day, you know. And the reality is the things that we're ticking off the book, they're not that big a deal, really, are they? Like, really? You know, I'm so busy, I can't write 5 words. No one's that busy where you can't write 5 words. There's no one's that busy you can't make 2 phone calls. No one's that busy you can't go for 1 10-minute walk or do 1 5-minute meditation or send one whatever. We can all do it. So it's a decision. And the thing is, change is always tough, right? Creating change, creating habits is always challenging. So anyway, so that, yeah, it's powerful. But once you get through the 63 days, once you get through that where it's conscious to the point where it's just part of who you are and what you do, then you don't worry about it anymore, which is cool. Okay. Anyone else got thoughts or anything they want to add? Questions, challenges, need some help with anything?
Just Kat, you're just an inspiration, and I love your openness, and just make me think.
Oh.
And so thank you.
Oh, cheers. No, I think I don't know. For me, it was just like, I don't know, I just fought it. I felt like I fought myself for so long, and I don't really know why. And you know, you just say, you know, it's that busy. It's like, okay, like I don't have children. I have an incredibly supportive partner. Like I work from home. I don't even have a commute. Like, I mean, like my list of excuses is like, meh. Like it's like I just can't, you know. And that doesn't mean that, like, sometimes it's like sometimes it's like 9 something at night and I'm in the Oodie, because the Oodie is great, and anyone that doesn't have one, I don't make commission, but you should still get one. They are amazing. And I'm in the Oodie and I'm on the couch and I'm like, I haven't written. And my partner will look at me and be like, do you want to just pause now? Do you want to just, like, it's just become such a, you know, because I'll mope because I haven't done it. And he's like, it's like this, like, your office is right there, you know? So it just becomes easier. And then, like, I don't know, it also then becomes harder because, like, 564 days, like, no, I mean, life happens. I have no doubt that one day something will happen and I will not touch the process. But as Andrew was saying, like, there's a bit of a difference between like day 3 and doing that. Like
day 564.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
Day 564 sounds so intimidating for everyone else sitting here going, what? How can you possibly do 564 days in a row? But you didn't. You just did.
No, I did one day.
You did one day 564 times.
Yeah, that's it. And some of those days, as we talked about before, is so rubbish. I like open it and I'm like, that should be on, not in. Yeah, okay. Like, you know, that was like, woo, victory. But I think if anything on this 500 and whatever long journey, I've really learned to honor like where I am now. And some days that is sit down and smash out X amount, and sometimes it is not, because that's not where I'm at. And I don't know. I'm sure I'll have my own demon battles again once it's like, the things I don't want to, you know, you said, Andrew, like just 2 phone calls. And I'm like, oh, calling someone on the phone. Oh, the horror. But you know, we'll deal with that down that track. So I don't know. I'm grateful to these things. I think I was very, very, very fortunate that Andrew ran that seminar when he did, that these open forums started, and they did like it all sort of, it like I got lucky that it all like hit when I needed it. But yeah. But thank you. And I don't think I'm anything.
Oh, you're just pragmatic and just real, and I just like that.
Yeah, pragmatic and real is how I keep employed. So
yeah.
Kat, can I just say comment on something?
Please.
You said I fought myself for so long. That is a really powerful and just a wow line, and it's something that I could really relate to. It's something I've been reflecting on in the last couple of weeks, actually. But hearing you say that, I'm like, oh, you know, there's enough that we want to do without fighting, you know, making it harder for ourselves, and I'm really good at that. So yeah, thanks for sharing as well.
Yeah. Me too. I'm usually the thing in my way, and again, like I work remotely for a company there. Everyone works remotely, so it's like you know when you're the only one in the room, it becomes a lot harder to blame someone else.
Yeah.
So it's like kind of like, and like I said, I've got an incredibly supportive partner. Like what was in my way was, and I had this conversation with Andrew. Oh, like I am busy, and it was like one of those things. Was like, well, what is that? Who's making me busy? You know. So I definitely know I was stopping myself, and so I mean that's very much been that theme of tonight, right? Is like if you want to make it happen.
Well, the reality is we're the only person that stops us. We can always find someone else to say, well, that person did this, and I had to pick up my kids, and I had to do this, and I had to do that. But we're the only person that's responsible, you know. And I think sometimes that's hard to hear. I know it's very hard to hear, but when you go, well, all of those circumstances you're talking about don't stop you from spending 5 or 10 minutes on your book. Nothing does. Well, not nothing. That's probably harsh, but it's always us. I think when you realize that and go, oh, shit, it's me, then you can start to actually do something about it. I just thought, just for a bit of comic relief, but also there's a very powerful point, and some of you have seen this, and I've played this video before. So if you have, just bear with it. But I'm going to play this. I'm not going to give you any introduction to this. Some of you will know the one I'm talking about. It goes about 5 minutes. It's hilarious, but there's also a very, very powerful message. And I guarantee you, it's a phrase that you'll carry with you. You'll know what I'm talking about. Well, some of you know what I'm about to share. So I'm going to share the screen and play this very, very short little video clip. Can everyone see that okay?
Yep.
Yep, all good.
Okay. Can maybe I'll just ask you all to mute yourself just so there's no extra noise, but enjoy this.
Dr. Switzer?
Yes, come in. I'm just washing my hands.
I'm Catherine Bigman. Janet Carlisle referred me.
Oh, yes. Fear of being buried alive in a box.
Yes, that's me. Should I lay down?
Oh, no, we don't do that anymore. Just have a seat. And let me tell you a bit about our billing. I charge $5 for the first 5 minutes, and then absolutely nothing after that. How does that sound?
That sounds great. Too good to be true, as a matter of fact.
Well, I can almost guarantee you that our session won't last the full 5 minutes. Now, we don't do any insurance billing, so you would either have to pay in cash or by check.
Wow, okay.
And I don't make change.
All right.
And go.
Go.
Well, tell
What?
me about the problem that you wish to address.
Oh, okay. Well, I have this fear of being buried alive in a box. I start thinking about being buried alive and I begin to panic.
Has anyone ever tried to bury you alive in a box?
No, but truly thinking about it does make my life horrible. I mean, I can't go through tunnels or be in an elevator or in a house, anything boxy.
So what you're saying is you're you're claustrophobic.
Yes, that's it.
All right, well, let's go, Catherine. I'm going to say 2 words to you right now. I want you to listen to them very, very carefully. Then I want you to take them out of the office with you and incorporate them into your life.
Well, shall I write them down?
Well, if it makes you comfortable, it's just 2 words. We find most people can remember them.
Okay.
You ready?
Yes.
Okay, here they are. Stop it!
I'm sorry?
Stop it!
Stop it?
Yes, S-T-O-P, new word, I-T.
So, what are you saying?
You know, it's funny. I say 2 simple words, and I cannot tell you the amount of people who say exactly the same thing you're saying. I mean, this is not Yiddish, Catherine. This is English. Stop it.
So, I should just stop it.
There you go. I mean, you don't want to go through life being scared of being buried alive in a box, do you? I mean, that sounds frightening.
It is.
Then stop it.
I can't. I mean, it's been with me since childhood.
No, we don't go there. Just stop it.
So I should just stop being afraid of being buried alive in a box.
You got it. Good go. Well, it's only been 3 minutes, so that will be $3.
Actually, I only have a 5, so
Well, I don't make change.
then I guess I'll take the full 5 minutes.
Fine. All right. Well, what other problems would you like to address?
I'm bulimic. I stick my fingers down my throat.
Stop it! What are you, nut of some kind? Don't do that.
But I'm compelled to. My mom used to call me fatty.
No, we don't go there.
But I've been having this dream.
No, we don't go there either.
But my horoscope did say.
We definitely don't go there. Just stop it. What else?
Well, I have self-destructive relationships with men.
Stop it! You want to be with a man, don't you?
Yes.
Well, then stop it. Don't be such a big baby.
I wash my hands a lot.
That's all right.
It is?
I wash my hands all the time. There's a lot of germs out there. Yeah, don't worry about that one.
I'm afraid to drive.
Well, stop it! How are you going to get around? Get in the car and drive, you kook. Stop it!
You stop it! You stop it!
What's the problem, Catherine?
I don't like this. I don't like this therapy at all. You're just telling me to stop it.
And you don't like that?
No, I don't.
So you think we're moving too fast? Is that it?
Yes. Yes, I do.
All right, then let me give you 10 words that I think will clear everything up for you. You want to get a pad and a pencil for this one?
All right.
Are you ready? All right, here are the 10 words. Stop it or I'll bury you alive in a box!
There you go. Have you seen that before? Have you all seen that before?
I've seen it before, absolutely.
No.
You haven't?
That's a new one.
Yeah, oh, good. So, Sue,
Yeah.
sometimes you just got to tell yourself, stop it.
Do
When
I
you
do
catch
it?
yourself saying that crazy kooky stuff, you say, stop it, or I'll bury you alive in a box. All right.
That's so good.
That is good, isn't it? Yeah. Awesome. Cool. Okay. Well, it's almost time to wrap it up. I thought we'd finish with a bit of a laugh. Now, does anyone else want to share anything before we finish, before we wrap up?
a whole other conversation, Andrew, if I started to say. No.
Well, we're talking. When are we talking? We're talking
Yeah.
this week, aren't we?
Lots to take home, lots to take back. No.
Yeah, there's been some great stuff today. There really has been some awesome stuff. So, Justine, thank you, and Glenda,
I've
well done.
posted something.
Everyone-
I
Sorry.
posted something that really, the thing I posted really echoes everyone's conversation, the 4,000 weeks discussion. Yeah, it's thought provoking, very relevant.
Well, wonderful to see you all. So I will. You'll get emails and stuff for the next forum, which will be in 4 weeks. But good to see you all. Thank you all. Thanks so much for you've all. It's been awesome tonight. It's been a good one. I'm glad I recorded it. I wasn't going. I'm glad I did. So have a wonderful day. Have a wonderful evening. Have good time on your holidays, Justine. Have fun in Italy, Glenda. Good luck with your trip to Tassie, Chris. Rosina, enjoy Bright. The snow will come soon, maybe. Kat, keep doing what you're doing. Kaz, you're a champion. And Sue, stop it.
Not doing it.
Awesome.
Good night,
All right, guys.
everyone.
All right, guys.
Thanks,
We'll see you soon.
Bye.
See ya.